Hey guys, what is up? Good morning.
Hello. Hi,
Good evening.
Internet. Good evening. Good
Good night.
afternoon. Good time to you, my
Good period
friends.
for yourself.
May
Good
it be
time
lovely.
zone.
A good time zone. I love that. Good time zone to you.
Good
So,
time zone, my beloveds.
My name is Liz.
And I'm Scandal, and definitely welcome back to the Birdcage, technically.
So, for anyone who doesn't know and hasn't seen the last one, we did a grind and cast with the Birdcage where we simply just ranted about a movie we didn't like, while I played blindly through it and muscled forward, not really paying attention to the puzzles. And it was really charming and really pretty, and we ignored it completely.
We
In all
really
ways.
did, and I actually was barely looking at the screen. I was mostly yelling off at the other wall.
So when Scandal went back and watched some of our grind and cast, they saw some of the game and went, holy cow, this looks super cool. And I'm like, it was super cool, but I wasn't talking about it. So Scandal is going to play it this time.
Yep, so we're actually going to talk about it. So we're going to go into the game with all the bluebirds on the thing. So technically we've already finished both the free levels. Whoops, and I'm going to throw things.
Or free sets of levels, if you
There
will.
are free sets of levels.
But since Scandal didn't play them, Scandal's going to go through them.
Yay!
We're considering buying the full game.
We are actually really considering it. Even though, honestly, looking at it again, I know it's fairly simplistic. It is pretty, but I'm still... I keep going, I'm not entirely sure how much I'm sold on it, but that might just be me. I don't know.
Anyway, we're thinking about it. But so this is the game. It's very pretty. Now, a little bit of it's missing because I've already played through once, and I don't know how to reset it.
That's fine. Honestly, I don't think I would kill people. If you want to see everything that's in there, there are various gems that Liz went to go get while we were rambling off, and then, I mean, for the most part,
and
though,
envelopes that have a backstory.
Yep, pretty much.
This is also a mystery.
Yeah.
And then the envelopes have pictures in them that slowly tell this other story.
Right, which, honestly, I might be able to find all the rest of them, which would be nice, because then we could do more. So let's do this. And then we might, like we said, actually go and play, like, and actually buy the rest of the game. So as you saw on that intro screen, it's like $4.50 to get the whole thing, right? So we might just do it. We've bought games before. Supporting people is a thing I recommend.
Yeah, if you like someone's content, it's a really great idea to support them so that you can, see more of that kind of content. In the same way that if you watch our channel and you like it and share it with your friends, you can see more of our content.
Which is, oh my gosh, it's like interacting with something gives me returns. Though I suppose for some people there is a point literally of such high levels of saturation that actually it doesn't matter. And what a lot of people I feel like honestly should be looking more towards, yay, go Bluebird, freedom, whee! This is super pretty. I don't know what it is.
Pretty. It's very simple.
But I feel like there's honestly such a high level of saturation sometimes with what people demand that you really should honestly aim for a smaller crowd. It sounds weird, but it's like you're more likely to get more involvement / dedication out of a small crowd who is dedicatedly interested in your purpose rather than trying to appeal to as broad of a scale of individuals as you can. Sure, you might get more money, but then you start getting super generalized and you might actually miss out on sharing some really neat details about either, like, your vision.
You can also lose out on the money spectrum as well, where they have talked about in restaurants, generally you have, it's the regulars who make your business. It is not just the drop-ins. It's the people who come there consistently.
All right, it's time to do the inverted Kingdom Hearts symbol, because I thought this last time when I saw it briefly. Yeah, Kingdom Hearts, because it's got 2 hearts.
Oh, okay.
And I'm like, oh!
Oh.
And of course, I was just watching, so the new trailer actually just came out yesterday, but I only just now saw it on FooTubes, and I was kind of staring at it, and I don't know if anybody is a big Kingdom Hearts fan or not. I actually, when I was a kid, it was a game that I originally, actually it was the first game I really ever bought for myself, and I bought it in reference to, well, I actually bought it before I had a PlayStation. And that was pretty entertaining, to be perfectly honest.
Going, this was what I wanted.
I wanted this game, like, desperately, desperately badly, right? That was the thing I wanted to play and the thing that I wanted to have. And I bought it, and like I said, I did not, and I had to wait to get a $200, PlayStation at the time, when I was, I don't even remember how old I was.
Younger, obviously.
I was definitely younger.
So I enjoyed the variation of puzzles in this game, actually, and how many different types of locks there were, and how many different styles of little puzzles there were. So it was fairly enjoyable that way, because there are puzzles where you line things up, puzzles where you follow directions, puzzles where you move and remove objects again, And the whole little bird exiting and flying around happily is very charming.
Right. It's very nice. And yeah, it's going level by level because we've already beaten them. So
Otherwise,
it's
it would just go to the next level
yeah.
instead of asking you to select.
Yeah, so this is what's going on. But I was going to say, definitely for sure. So I've had some love-hate relationship basically with Kingdom Hearts because I've always really liked that game. The one that I liked the most was the first one. I felt the first one was far less basically ridiculous and have it had a very conflicting theme of basically, honestly, you could look at it as basically Western ideals versus Eastern ideals, right? So darkness is always evil in Western ideals, right? And then light is always good. And then in Eastern ideals, you had light and darkness simply being a balance to each other. They just exist. There's nobody who's inherently necessarily better than the other. That's the type of energy that it is. It is not a inherently bad thing to have dark inclinations, right?
So just so you know, the controls of this game got explained when we first opened it.
They did,
and you tap on the puzzles to get close to them. So the way we're zooming in is just poking it.
Well, I mean, they're watching my finger pap.
Yeah, I know, but in case somebody was missing it.
Nope, they're completely on board.
Anyway,
knew everything that was going on.
The various puzzles are wrapped around the cage, which is why Scandal is sort of looking at the whole picture first, and then sort of going around and deciding what they're doing.
And this is actually one of those things they talk about in regards to doing escape rooms, is you really want to go and look at all the pieces first before you make any decisions.
Yeah.
And decide then from there what you're going to do, and then see where you have... Also, plus I'm looking for basically little envelopes that we had seen previously. Okay,
yeah,
I just take that one.
Yep.
Right, so we're going to go back here, because I'm looking for...
But we actually watched a really fun tutorial video on escape rooms in general, and how they're usually done by groups, and how it's important to have your group basically function as a team. And that having your group function as a team is going to be vital to getting through the escape room on time. Having somebody who essentially looks, someone who keeps track of information, somebody who, you know, double checks the different kinds of locks, who identifies all the things around the room.
And you have one person who basically is the one who holds it all together, right? And keeps everybody unified, kind of thing. So you have your set of searchers or whatever, depending on how many people you have, and you basically, it's through a process of elimination, right? And you're divvying out tasks so nobody gets overwhelmed.
Right, and you're having people that are just specifically looking for letters or numbers, people that are specifically looking for useful objects, people that are specifically looking for, you know, different types of locks and barriers, that kind of thing.
Right, that sort of thing. So it's actually fairly important, and it's kind of neat. And I guess for me, that's probably the reason why I've never been very good at, like, yay, riddles or puzzles, simply because I always try to overwhelm myself with too much information.
Overthinking.
Yeah,
it is both of our specialties. We're on 4, yes?
So we got 3, I think we're on
Should be 4.
4.
Beep, did you hear the cute little beep?
I heard it every
sound
time.
in this is very charming.
It is. Again, I like this. That's again where I'm going. I'm not sure about this because...
Did we miss an envelope?
No, he never forgot his ending past. So the prince actually lost the parent, I'm assuming, and always the mother, unfortunately, in this case. And I say unfortunately because I feel it's a tired trope that I really would wish would stop.
Dies?
Yeah, and I know sometimes they'll be like, well, you know, now we're going to make the other parent die. And I'm like, I don't think it really solves the problem. Not that you can't have
parent die.
Right? And it's like, sure, it's nice to see, basically, I guess as it is, some different, basically, angles on it. But it also doesn't seem like they try to make the relationship any, you know, different. Come on. I did actually touch that. Thank you.
Yeah, but it didn't do anything. And they're trying to show you what to do.
No, I had my thing.
Yeah, and they're trying to show you. So the game tries to help you, which is kind of neat. Where if you miss something,
it'll go
actually pull you back to the front, or it will just do nothing.
Right.
But in that case,
it doesn't
kept
entirely
dragging
punish.
Scandal back to the front. It doesn't really punish you at all,
which
as far
is
as
nice.
I can tell. You don't get locked out of anything.
And that was when I'm going, like, I can't tell whether or not this is me actually going to like this game or not, simply because I can't exactly tell if it's going to continue.
In the same way.
Yeah, because some of this, I will say, at least for the little bit that I did watch, and even for me going through this right now, I'm going, this seems a little easy.
That was the problem I had, is I was able to do this, for the most part, just talking through it, you know, without actually examining much of the puzzles at all. And I like puzzles, I always have. And I'm usually your one who will just destroy the match 3 games and stuff like that, and other specific types of puzzle games. However, if... there you go.
There we go.
I was going to say, if a game can be done without really focusing on the game much at all, like there was 2 points where I paused because it was letters. And I went, okay, I need to actually think about this for half a second because I need to remember from here to there.
Right.
I knew what to do, but I had to remember it from here to there. And so that was where I had to stop.
Right.
Hello, birdie bird.
Birdie, save the bluebird.
Yay.
Yay. And there's nothing necessarily wrong with that, because sometimes you don't want to have super freaking frustrating, tasks or basically
Massively
puzzles.
challenging things.
Because sometimes, it's like, it's irritating and makes you just want to kill something.
So if you go back in our channel, we tried one escape game that, remind us later, because it's good so far.
Yeah, I've enjoyed it.
No, so there's one escape game where we tried to get a kitten home.
Oh, the lost cat thing?
It is so infuriating. It's so ridiculous. Like, there's no, at least for the way our brains were able to perceive it, there was no logical, like, direction of what you were doing. There was no suggestion of where you should be going.
We actually made an observation, I think that's pretty important, is actually to go, hey, this game is built like it expects that you already have been doing these types of games for a long time.
And you know what
And I guess
doing.
that might just be a skill level thing, maybe, or whatever else, but I honestly didn't feel like it was very friendly, and I was
frustrated.
pretty frustrated, actually.
And this sort of reminds me of a game we just played recently called My Museum.
2 square, 3 diamond. Let's try here, okay.
Okay.
2 square,
And
3 diamonds.
see, this was one of the ones I had to stop when we were doing our grinding cast because I was like, I can't remember the numbers and shapes, even if I know what I'm supposed to be doing. Anyway, so in My Museum, they assume you've played a story-based puzzle, match 3, progressive quest driven game because there's almost no tutorial of any kind at all.
The setup is I want to say the setup feels very poor.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't transition very well.
And so it's very much an experience of, if you've never played this kind of game, you're going to feel very marooned. And I actually told kind of a fun story around that game about teaching my grandma how to better play those kinds of games.
Right.
How to do better with one that she really liked. And that was really fun, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
But had the game given a tutorial instead of just assumed you knew what you were doing,
right,
she would have been able to get a lot farther and done a lot more than she did.
It's true.
All right, Scandal. Kill it. The gray ones don't move.
Oh, right. Oh, that's the come in point.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so...
And you get as many swaps and things as you want. Like, this game doesn't punish you.
I figured. No, it totally punishes you a lot.
The most punishing.
Extremely punished. Nope.
Alright. And I imagine also, again, if you're not an experienced puzzler, or if particular types of puzzles stick you, where in most cases there's one type of puzzle that will do someone in, There's just one sort that just makes them go, God, I can't do this. For me, it's actually visually a little like this kind of puzzle. It's those ones that you have to shuff around in circles. You have one free space and you have to shuff them all around the board to line them up.
I got it.
Good job.
And you can
Anyway,
take both.
I have a hard time with those ones. I can solve them, but they take me a long time.
Right. Not that. Where's the...
You're there.
Was I there?
Mm-mm.
Oh, hang on.
Yeah.
Okay. I was like, what am I missing?
What are you missing? Well, you're
Push the
missing
button of the...
one place you haven't been to.
Yay.
There.
It's very nice that is not a very strong magnet.
Uh-huh.
Or you'd be here for going, no, I'm
I
figuring out how
can't
to
get
turn it off.
the thing. I need to pull the batteries out. And you will, in some cases, have to, just as Scandal just did, pick up the batteries and move them again, reuse things. So it's possible that, you could get the key on there and then have to turn it off and then get it out of there some other way.
Which is one of those things that actually... So was it the end?
Yep, that was the end of that
That was the
one.
end. Okay.
And now we
Which
move to
is actually one of
Goldfinch.
those things, though, that makes me really wonder whether or not... Like, I want to see if this gets harder.
Yeah.
But I also don't want to be like, yeah, I spent $4.50 to... Huh? To power through it in about 5 minutes,
Because it didn't take that long to
really
play
didn't.
all, of these levels, all 12 of them. I think it is. Or is it 10?
Something like that.
Is it 10? I think it's 10 levels, actually. Anyway, it took us about, without paying attention, maybe 35 minutes? Maybe.
I think it was less than that, actually.
I'm not sure. At any rate, so again, it's charming, but it's not a lot of content if you're going to power through it that fast for the price. And it's very pretty. Like, I love the simplicity of the graphics. It calls me back to a lot of like 90s computer games. Reminds me of some of the puzzles in Myst and things like that,
Right.
which is kind of fun.
I haven't thought about Myst in a long time because also, unfortunately for me, my brothers were the ones who really played Myst. I was never really so the thing in my family, of course, because I had two older brothers. I one of the reasons why I got so big into Let's Play is basically for me, and I could like some people really are confused by them, but I'm like I got into them fairly easily because I had two older brothers who wouldn't let me play.
See, and so Scandal was always watching. See,
Yeah.
and I really wasn't watching. I would see my brother playing something, because I did have a brother that played video games as well, or my dad, because my dad was a gamer, or even my grandpa, because he had an Atari and a Coleco, and he played, which is wild, because I had this whole family of essentially gamers at some point, in one way or another.
Right.
And as soon as I established that I wanted to play the game, I was done watching. And I went, okay, now that I understand that I would enjoy this game, I am done watching, and I want to play.
Right.
And so if I got to then if I wasn't sure if I wanted to play, then I'd watch a bit longer and see if I could be interested. Good job, Birdie.
Yay!
So for
Save the
me,
verb.
Let's Plays didn't make sense for a really long time, and I kept going, why do people watch Let's Plays? When I see them and I want to play the game, then I just want to play the game. I am Liz, and I want instant gratification.
And that's fine. There's nothing necessarily wrong with
Or-
that. It's just basically, I think, a different childhood experience, too. Especially if you ever had to share games, right? Or if you had basically siblings who were extremely possessive or really only interested in their own experiences and did not want you to touch their crap at all, you know?
See, and I was lucky because when I was young, my dad worked in computers. So we had a home computer from the time I was very, very young. And so start with the one that stays, and then keep going.
That's what I did,
Okay.
dork. I got it.
Okay. It's like playing Simon for anyone who doesn't know.
It does. A bit like it.
It's like Simon, but you didn't get to see the pattern first.
No, not at all. You
And
just
I
have to
wonder
kind of guess
if
it.
that pattern's somewhere on here, because I kind of think it should be, you know?
Right? Instead of just muscle. That's one thing, too. I noticed some of these puzzles, I'm like, really? Just muscling through them?
And I feel like there should be a solution to that puzzle somewhere in here, but I didn't notice it, and I just went through it
Well, that's what I
immediately
was
when
just
saw
kind
it.
of flipping. I know, you really just kind of went doo-doo-doo, and I was
This
like...
makes sense, and I did it. And I only really tried once on a lot of these puzzles, and some of them,
This one stumped you, because you were like, what am I doing?
I didn't realize it was something to do at first. I just went, okay, I thought it needed a piece. I thought it needed hands or something, and so I got stuck on it because I was just not understanding what was required. Which is alright.
Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo.
Yay.
There you go, yay!
Those ones sometimes get me too, if they have too many limiters.
Yep.
Or if they have really, like, a lot of different places to put things in, but only one piece to move, I get more stuck as well.
Right.
But I feel
Sorry,
like,
this gets really loud, so I was like, ooh,
like it goes
it's
from
trying to be
nothing
intense.
I am in your face. In your face.
In your face, the merry little... Wait, what?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Alright, here we are.
And...
And it's a keyhole. But you don't have the key.
I know. Because
Aren't
I went,
these
"Where's
fun,
the-"
pretty little puzzles, though, a lot
They
of them?
really are. Again, I'm just like, I can't decide.
I can't decide. Does it get harder enough?
But also,
to feel like
Dart,
enough content. But I'm curious about the story a little bit, too.
I
'Cause
mean,
then,
you were
like,
kind of like, you said initially you didn't really like, though, I thought, the,
I didn't like the artwork for the story very much. It looks very sketchy and sort of... Like, there is a style to being sketchy. There really is. But it just doesn't look as clear and as high quality as the rest of the game. It felt lower quality.
that actually is a fair assessment. That
That is the
makes
best
sense
I can
then.
explain. Is it
'Cause
just
I was,
felt
okay,
lower
that was
quality.
7, so 8?
Was that 7? Because you did 2 with the yellow bird?
I don't know.
You might want to go back and double check.
I think that was 7.
Okay. Just go back again.
No, hang on.
Oh, menu. Main menu. There we go. I was like, I'm not sure. So pardon me
Hang on,
if
we're
that
gonna-
was completely
I
accurate.
like, why did you just...
Second guess the heck out of it because I couldn't remember what you'd done, and I apologize.
I knew it.
Yeah, it totally was. So now we're on 8. All right, here we go. Do it. Main menu. There are achievements in the game. We
There
actually
are. We
unlocked
actually
a
have-
number of them last time, and we'll go through those at the end of this. As well as
I was
getting
like, oh, we're going to look now.
yeah, all the little blue gems and things
Right.
at the bottom. There really
There's
were,
the other notes. Okay.
There were 3 blue gems hidden in each one of these puzzles.
But the young prince was not strong enough.
And these things
And then
come
he
to you
died.
out of order, as far as I can tell.
Right.
And that you just get pieces of the story. Ta-da!
All right.
This,
so
one was
we
a little bit challenging for
Well,
me,
this is the one
too.
you really could. Oh God, this was funny. You really could not though do without paying attention to it because it had
Right.
so much more parts
It
to
had
it.
more memorization rather than just understanding. Because if you need to just understand something, you can do it. But if you need to remember it, there's a lot more experience of going, I have to think about this more. So for me, when it was a memory piece, such as, like I said, copying a letter to somewhere or copying a shape to somewhere, I had to pause for a minute and go, what am I doing? But if it wasn't a memory piece, if it was just a logic piece, I could do it while talking and not paying attention.
Right.
Which was an interesting assessment on me, myself, and what kind of intelligence I have.
Right.
Because I'm like, I can't hold in my memory crap while I'm doing something else.
But also, what I've loved sometimes watching like just watching people do some puzzles, is you're doing actually way better because you're not thinking about it.
Right?
The second some people really start getting involved, they just tear themselves apart because they cannot put anything down and they can't stop overthinking
They're
it.
thinking too hard. Yeah, it's true.
It is actually a way to
Look at all those little Pac-Man.
basically. I know, I thought that too. I was like, oh no, we're gonna be eating all the ghosts quickly.
It's a Pac-Man.
All right, so
This one I had a little bit of a hard time with. It took me a minute to figure it out. See, and Scandal got this one right away.
yeah, because I actually went. You got to pep the thing. So I remember that part.
You got to do the thing.
It's a timing thing. You're like, what? And I was like, it's fine. It's a timing thing.
It's fine. Anyway.
All right, so let's do the square first because it's there in line. So, whoop, pep.
So this one's kind of fun because it actually has a decoder, which I enjoyed. But also took me a minute to figure out because at first I thought that the glass on it was going to be like magnified to figure out something with the bird itself,
right,
rather than with the cage, which is totally fine. But it definitely made it a little slower to move through.
Square A.
Square A. I don't know if you want to do them in order because then you have to run all the way around it back and forth several times.
Well, then I'll just do whichever one's next. But this helps anyway because then all I have to do is just go forward.
Mm-hmm. Except you can't just go forward.
Yeah, I can. You dork. Of course I can.
I mean, that's
go
backwards.
whatever next.
All right, triangles the D.
3.
So see how this works along the side?
Uh-huh.
You can actually zoom in on the side too, if I remember right. Yeah,
like
so
this.
it'll show you
It'll
the
show you,
shapes.
and you can also see it from a distance, which is why I haven't been looking. See, it's just right over here.
But it will let you, looking closer if that works better for you.
Yep. Come on. Come on. Scrolly. The other thing too I noticed is this doesn't move very easily. I was gonna say something.
Grab it in a few places.
Yeah, it's a little frustrating. Okay.
It's a nice little device.
Diamond H.
Yep. And they're really pretty cages. But I'm also like, who put these birds in here?
Right.
And they're like, here, welcome to my party. Now you can get the birds out of the cage. It'll be very fun. And I'm like, that's quite a game, honestly.
It really kind of is.
Like, can you imagine going to a party or someone's, to be someone's house guest, and they have these beautiful cages everywhere?
You can save the birds.
And they're like, you can get the bird out of the cage. And you're like, really?
Excuse me?
Is
that actually a good thing?
Right? It's a star.
Yep, it's a star. It's due.
Yay! Yep, there's the key.
I actually thought it was going to be locked on the hook when I saw you do it before. I was like, oh, well, that'll be fun.
So you have to open the keyhole. I thought that one was charming.
You were extremely
I can use the keyhole. Oh, I can't. Ooh. The bird is trying to cheer you on. They're going, wait, are you going to open it?
Freedom!
Yes!
I mean, that would be honestly super morbid, though. People being like, yes. And you can have the bird. What you need to realize is there's no amount of time before the bird gets killed. And you go, what?
9. Right? They're like, so the bird will die of starvation in this cage if, and of a dehydration. Dehydration probably sooner, since there's nothing in that cage.
As far as I understand, dying of dehydration is awful.
Is awful. So yeah, but there's nothing in there. So I'm like, this bird is
potentially
really
been
in
here
trouble.
for an age.
Potentially been here for several hours, waiting for your guests to get settled, waiting for all the cages to get set up, that kind of thing. Because a lot of these things you're going to have to assemble or disassemble, set up or reset up, that kind of thing. Put together to get the bird in there, and then undo.
Right.
So it's going to take some time. Now, in theory, if you're taking good care of your birds, you could be like feeding them water, like through a little bowl through the edge, and then removing it, before your guests get there,
right,
or before they get to the room with the birds. But like, these are beautiful outdoor settings by and large.
Oh, no power.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's the one with the power. And that's it. Yeah? Okay.
All right.
Turn the power on, and then
You
this
gotta
is...
rotate.
This
There you
is
go.
the grab the thing.
Now you get to do it. There's this fun little like claw machine element to this one that I loved. That was also frustrating because it's a little bit imprecise.
A little bit. It also looks super sensitive.
Yeah, it's reasonable. It's fairly sensitive, but the controls are a little bit imprecise. But it's a fun little mechanism nonetheless. Like they really worked hard to make each one of these distinctive,
Which is good.
I think is charming. So that each of your bird cages, even if they have this one has something in the bottom and you do something with it, they have generally different elements.
I mean, I'm right on top of it.
You gotta grab it. Yep.
Oh, there's a button!
There's a button, a lever, and a rotating, sort of switch.
A button.
There's a lot going on there. Hello, you're gonna run into a wall.
Well, that's difficult to see. Like,
Yeah,
there's no shadows, so this is actually really awkward.
Yeah, that one was tough. But see, there you are, and then you can go around and get your key.
Alright, that's as far as it goes.
I'm surprised the bird doesn't just fly through that giant hole in the wall, though. That's the one that bothered me, is over here, that great big opening.
Right.
And going, the bird
I know, and then the
could
bird
go
comes out.
right out here.
This is huge.
Yeah.
That's a dumb bird.
Like, that bird could leave right there if it wanted to. Which is alright, but,
And that's allowed, I know.
Feels a little less believable if the bird's instantly going to go, oh look, the door's open, out I come.
Yeah.
It seems like they would try the little slot too. I mean,
Yeah.
I've seen, what is it, like a finch just fly through chain link fence holes.
So it's
we're
9,
on
so 10. Yep.
Yep, so this will be the last one in the free part of the game. So if you like this game and you want to go get it for yourself, we'll explain how to buy the whole thing, or you can actually just buy pieces of the whole thing if you're not sure how far you want to go. But we'll walk you through that as well.
I don't really remember
well,
this
you
one.
see.
We'll see what this is.
So the nice thing is that while Scandal saw me do some of this, they did not see me do all of this.
Well, like I said, I was off yelling at a wall, actually, because I was super frustrated.
Honestly, we went and we saw a movie and we were really irritated. And once in a while we'll do something called a grinding cast, where we basically do a podcast while we just have a video game as a background. Either we're just grinding levels or grinding currency or just getting through something that's very grindy in the game. And then we'll just, these ones spin. It's alright.
So you're trying to join together everything, yeah?
Well, remember you have the start and finish point? Because it's a flow. So that's your start. And there's your finish.
Hello,
The
bird!
bird.
Hello.
Hello. Anyway, so this particular time what we did was we ranted about a movie we'd seen that we were super irritated with while we just had games going in the background. And this was one of the games that I did.
Well, we've
in
definitely
the
already talked about that, remember?
Yeah. Sorry. I'm just like, but the grinding cast is basically just us talking about whatever while we play a game.
Right. Well, I mean, and it was fun, honestly. I would like to do it again.
I feel like if we got a little more organized, we might do all right in movie reviews. To be completely honest, I mean, there's enough people and a lot of people that do movie reviews. After all, they really do.
They really honestly do.
I know that when I'm looking for a movie review, I really do go to a lot of different people to get sort of a bigger picture of what that's like what more people thought. Because I'm not going to just be, I just believe this one person, you know.
Alright, am I gonna have to muscle this one?
I don't think so.
I'm like, is there actually a thing? I don't remember seeing one, though. Oh, is it under here, then?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yay.
Yay!
Alright, there we go. I mean, you can always just go for it if you want to.
Hang on. Okay, so... Alright, I didn't know which one was first, though, is the thing. Oh, I really don't know, so...
I mean, you went around in a circle.
So... Circle, triangle, square, diamond, square? Circle...
Yeah, you'd already done the square.
Huh, okay, I don't understand. Alright.
So you started with going around a circle and it opened them up in order
Oh,
to push them in this order.
okay.
At least that's how I figured it out. And sometimes I figure puzzles out wrong, then I come to the right answer anyways.
That's
In
what
the
was good.
same
I think
way-
I figured that out wrong, and it worked out. Okay,
Anyway,
and then
so
that was 10.
that's the end of it. So let's go see the other pieces of the game.
We're gonna go see the achievements.
So yeah,
Achievements!
And you have achievements. Anyway, so this one does connect to Google Play, and you've got, you know, little things like finish the first cage, find all the gems in the game, finish all the cages. I don't know what Future is,
I don't know
or
where it
an
is
old
either.
friend, or an ancient cipher. But I imagine the ancient those ones much have to do with the actual story.
Right.
You know, find 3 letters.
Let's look at
Here's
the notes, what we
The
have
notes
so
we've
far.
gotten- Yeah, so far.
A kingdom by the coast, ruled by a beloved king. With his son, the king-to-be, by his side, they made a royal pair. The king-to-be showed promise of a bright future, though he never forgot his saddening past. One day, atop his brother's tomb, came a cry for help. Yeah, I will agree, these pictures look kind of shoddy. I'm sorry.
A little
Threatened by fierce winds, a feathered friend in need. Climbing to their aid, the prince battled against the gust, but the young prince was not strong enough. The king mourned, a tomb now for 2.
And then that's as far
And
as
that's
we've gotten.
that's as far as I got. So that's
Now-
half the game.
As I remember, they didn't show up in order completely, but I could be wrong. Because
I
I wasn't
think that's
playing-
it.
I wasn't. No. When I did
Oh
it
yeah,
just
I think
as they were making the first set.
I mean, they might have. No, actually, they didn't. Considering which ones I think I grabbed, I don't know. Actually,
Yeah.
I'd have to go look.
Anyway,
but
so if you do the all levels pack, plus no ads, it gives you, you know, the cardinal and the eagle and the dove, or you can buy the packs separately. There's also an epilogue level which you unlock once you do everything.
right.
So they talk about that when you know, out in, I think it's the Play Store.
Yep.
Anyway, so if you decide you don't want the full game, you can buy it in pieces. But if you do want the full game, you can buy it for $4.50, and that takes the ads away as well.
Yep.
You can also just remove the ads. Oh, no internet connection. We don't
Yeah,
have
it's
the
fine.
internet.
We don't need internet.
Anyway, by themselves. But the reason I think we're not getting any ads right now is because we don't have any internet.
we
They
actually
did
didn't
say-
last time though, really either.
So
did
they did
we?
say you can play this game offline, which is nice because there aren't a lot of app games you can play offline.
No, which is I love that.
Frustrating.
But yeah, and that is
I love it in this game, but it's frustrating in general.
quality medium.
Oh, what happens if we do different quality?
That's high up our end, our quality.
Sure, and then
But
we'll
yeah.
look at the notes. They'll probably look the
They
same.
probably will look the same, honestly.
I was disappointed that, yeah, see, the notes don't look as high, like as good in their art quality as the rest of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they look, yeah, I get they're sketchy, but like the anatomy doesn't look great. So
I
that
feel
was
like
frustrating.
I want to give credit, but I'm also like, yeah, I feel like the sketchy style could have been done a little better. I don't know.
Like
I appreciate that it's a certain style, or like that looks creepy. I honestly
he looks
thought
insane right there.
he looks bug-eyed and wild,
Yes.
which is not friendly. This looks, and his
Terrifying.
father looks intimidating. The king with his son, the king to be by his side. They made
Except
I'm
the
like, it looks
king
creepy!
completely aloof, and the kid looks a little bit
Manic.
maniacal.
that one works too.
Something in there.
And also the severe.
Yeah, the severity, I guess.
Look at him. He has a freaking mullet.
That's okay. People can have mullets.
I get that. I just personal preference. I just don't like them.
That's okay.
I know, and everybody's got their own tasting, and that's fine.
And there's
I'm-
mullets in Kingdom Hearts too. Ha
There are so many
All right.
mullets. Oh
anyway,
my god.
so
Anyway.
that's really it for this game. Again,
Yeah.
it didn't take that long to play through the free part. So we're at about 30 minutes right now, and that's really the entire game. The only difference is going to be is when you go into the levels, the little gems will be sitting around, sort of the way Scandal moved the cages and turned them so they could see all around them,
Right.
and then there'll be a hidden letter in each level
Yep.
as well. Anyway, if we do buy the rest of the game, we'll do it in another episode.
Yeah.
I think the primary art is really pretty. Honestly, I love it.
It's simple.
Uh-huh.
I mean, and the wings look artificial as all get out.
And
Which
the
is
flying
fine.
is way too slow, but it's stylized and it's pretty. I also liked the fact that that it's got a Christmas theme going on
Right, which
now.
is what we were looking for.
Yeah, we were just looking for something Christmassy to do in the background as we were yelling about this movie.
Yep.
Anyway, so if you enjoyed this content and you're interested in anything more we might be talking about or exploring or playing, please check out the rest of our channel.
Yeah. Yeah.
My name is Elias.
And I am Scandal.
And thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, appreciate it. Have a fantastic day, and if you can, please save us from the algorithm. It would be lovely.
Yes, if you like or share or subscribe, it will help us be more visible so that more people can find our stuff.
Especially people who will like our stuff.
Yeah.
Which would be greatly appreciated.
Because the more exposure, the more...
And if you want us to keep playing, you know what, if it's potentially that we'll buy this on our own, but if you want us to play more of this game, please, feel free. You feel free to really just tell us, so, yeah.
Yeah, so comments are completely welcome. We do respond to them, and thank you for your time.
Yeah, enjoy your day, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye!